I heard that Indiana opted out of helping kids that
Yes, they
needed
missed the
meals
deadline.
during the summer.
Yeah, they
That's so
missed the
Christian.
deadline. They missed the deadline. I mean, who's in charge of this stuff?
Yeah,
When you say even Mississippi's taking the money, you know you're in
I-
bed.
I'm so sorry.
When we moved here from Chicago,
Hmm.
and before that, I mean, I went to college in Ohio, but I
It
mean, the other
wasn't
thing,
like it then.
no, see, that's the thing. Like, I was in New York, I grew up in New York State, and
Hmm.
Republicans were fiscally responsible, but that was like the difference was like they were more careful with money. They weren't out there politically. Like
Yeah,
they were pretty normal.
yeah.
And then and then I don't know, was it the Tea Party? Was it Newt Gingrich? Was that when things really started to go south? It's hard to, I know that like the millennials can't are having a hard time buying houses. It's a lot of money. Well, the Fort Wayne is more affordable, but it's getting more expensive.
So I did housing reporting for Fort Wayne for about 3 years. And let me tell you, we got there in 2021, early in the year. And we were thinking about getting a house. And you could see a house on sale for 120, $130,000. The next couple years, the price is basically doubled.
So yeah, our daughter bought one early COVID, right before prices went up,
Mhm.
and um, and so did the interest rates. It was
Yep.
just like literally by months. She
Mhm.
just slipped in there and got really lucky.
Mhm.
And but that's only one of the three, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Fort Wayne's not cheap anymore.
Women aren't having babies like they used to.
Yeah, I know.
And the reason is because nobody can afford it, and also because you have to pay a very big penalty in house cleaning and chores and stress because men don't necessarily pick up their share of it. So,
It's interesting because I know about it, that topic in part because of the number of friends I have who have children who don't have grandchildren,
yes.
and that's really it's really sad for them.
Hmm.
It is really, really sad because it's always been it's been a hope and an expectation
Hmm.
and a hope, that you just want you want to have grandkids.
Yeah.
It's been but there are a lot of them who don't. And who have maybe one, like we'll probably have two. We have two now. I don't know if I have any more. But and
Yeah.
we feel so lucky. It's really interesting. It's well, then you hear these guys talking about what are they called? Not birth, are they called birthers? There was a
Oh.
convention of them. I'm not kidding. It's
A
a
birther
movement.
convention.
Yeah, yeah. It was to have, did you find it?
Pronatalist.
Pronatalist,
Does
that's it.
that sound right?
Yeah, there's natalist. Yeah.
Okay.
And they were trying to figure out, why, but that was when they came up with this, oh, that great idea. If we just gave women $5,000 to want to have a kid. Remember that?
Like that would cover
Yeah, right?
getting out of the hospital,
Yeah, exactly.
let
Yeah,
alone raising a
pronatalist.
child.
That's what they are. Yep. Mm-hmm. And here's $5,000.
Who cares?
Yeah. So anyway, I understand it. I'm happy that, we had children and all that, but I can sympathize with people who are making different choices.
Hmm.
Everyone's doing what they think is the right thing. So can't argue with that. Yeah, I think my daughters probably don't are trying hard not to think about that. But
It's
on the other hand, well, there is no other hand. Regardless, I guess one would say, we just keep going. I mean, to me, the option is there's no option. There's no
right.
choice.
You can't let the bullies win.
No, never,
Yeah.
never,
Can't.
you never, and you can't quit because the stakes are too high. I don't know how long we're going to be like this.
Mhm.
Um, and that's really worrisome.
Mhm.
But we'll keep going. Just keep going.
It's interesting how this kind of experience really helps build community that we didn't have before. The way that it's explained in a book called The Fourth Turning, you might want to check it out. It talks about how every 80 years there's kind of a crisis and then a reset. And when you go through a crisis, the last major crisis was the period between the start of World War One and then the Depression and then World War Two. Well, we're in a new one. It got kicked off with the financial crisis, and we're going to be in it for at least another few years, if not more. And and they talk about how different people react in different ways at different times. And when you're in a crisis, people come together because they have to. I mean, would we be going online and learning about things and listening to different people who are trying to kind of help us through this experience? And would we be getting together with our friends and talking this over? Would I be talking to you right now if we weren't in a crisis? You'd probably be like, I don't need to demonstrate because things are pretty okay.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't have any questions for you, right?
Mhm.
So that is one of the things that I hope we can look forward to is that we will have better ideas about community, better acceptance among people, and better social cohesion so that when we start making rules for the new world that we need to create out of the ashes of the old one that is currently being burned down, that we'll be working together to make it as good as we can. Putting those things into place like NATO was years ago, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just don't know the extent to which some of this stuff, once gone, can be recovered. I mean, that's part of the problem with losing the science and the scientists and
mhm,
the people who will be dying of HIV, AIDS, and starving to death. It's true that in the long run, as they say, the arc of justice, how it bends towards truth and light, to paraphrase Martin Luther King. But what do we lose in the meantime? And that is irretrievable. And that's the part that just sucks me in my gut, is what we lose. I know that assuming we can come out of it,
mhm,
things could be better in some ways. But in the meanwhile, people have lost a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, I'm 70. Geez, I hope I live long enough to see things coming out
mhm,
okay.
yeah,
But in the meanwhile, that's the part that makes my heart hurt, and fall into a slump of just like, I can't believe it. I used to, the first time he won or whatever, I'm like, this isn't really us. And now it hits you in the face like, shit, it is us.
mm,
What do I do with that? That's, to me, like, that's almost what could be the deepest cut.
yeah,
That if this is us as a nation, then frankly, we deserve whatever happens. The world will pay the price and it will be on us.
mhm,
And that really hurts, that we're letting the world down,
mhm,
in that, we might come through okay. We have fucked everybody else. So, and this is who we are.
mhm.
And I hate it. And I don't know how to regain that light, the shining light, the nation on the hill. Where to
Yeah,
go? That's the part that just makes
got
me
chipped away at for decades.
anyway. Hey, we'll just keep going. Hope for the best.
Mhm.
Prepare for the worst. Hope it doesn't come about, and mourn. I'm still in mourning. I am mourning a deep loss.
Have you lost any relationships over the politics of the last 10 years?
I have not, because I will not. Um, because I have a very dear friend and a brother whose politics are not the same as mine. To me, that is almost like letting the bad guy win. That's taking
Mm,
something away from me that I will not cede. no one can determine my relationships with the people I love. So other people have made different choices, but and that's, we all do what we need to do. I'm not going to judge you by how you vote. I will might step into a judgment situation by how you act,
Hmm.
but not by what your vote supposedly means. I won't.
Yeah, good.
And we're not going to. We like each other too much to spend all our time disagreeing.
Yeah.
Although I will say my parents would be having a fit. I mean, when I saw January 6th, all that, I was like, oh, thank God my parents are gone. I couldn't believe it. I mean, all I could think of was like my parents like having the Confederate flag march through the Capitol building. I was like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This is so antithetical to everything that we believe in.